Officially live on the face cam. Yo, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about OKKO, specifically talking about the main character KO and how powerful he is, even though he's not. That's kind of interesting to talk about. So I'm going to go into details on that. I have notes on my computer screen. I'll also be talking with people in the live chat. So let me get the live chat set up for the face cam real quick, which will require a little bit more time. Scavenger says he'll be watching the face cam. No problem. Let's see. I will now start getting the live chat for the face cam set up. Yo, Scavenger, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. So let's see. We're almost there. I need to make some of the windows smaller on my computer so that I'll be able to look at all the chats. Because I think this actually will be a pretty interesting conversation. Kirby said bananas. I see you're mixing it up with the fruit. Let's see. So now I've made this chat pretty small. The one that's for the not face cam. I can still read it fine, but I'm just trying to make space. Scavenger said oranges. Grapes. Yeah, this should be fun. I learned recently that a lot of the apples that are really popular are apples that were like made over a long period of time, like after a lot of breeding and everything. Let's see. I'm almost ready with face cam chat. I see X is talking about the game breaking card scenario thing for Duel Links. Excuse me. But right now, the face cam chat is still not totally up. X says, Apple breed, the fuck, is my life a joke? So, you're able to make, like, custom apples, essentially, is what I'm talking about. By mixing, like, multiple types of apples over time. And I've heard that, like, the apples that we all know and love at the store, like, a lot of them are apples that didn't exist, like, a few years ago. Like, man had to force these apples to exist by, like, cross-breeding different apples. Now, of course, not breeding as in, like, the apples mate with each other or anything, but, you know, like, pollination kind of thing. Oop, X says he'll be right back. Solid. See you when you get back, X. Almost have the live chat up for the face cam. I'd like to ask, is anyone here familiar with OKKO? If not, I can always go over OKKO and teach you guys a little bit about the characters and how everything goes. I'll do that anyways, but if you have any specific questions along the way, just feel free to ask me in any of the chats, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you all about it. Oops, so face cam chat is almost there. X just posted a comment about Apple's getting it on. So we're so close. We're so close. I'm just watching it load now for the face cam chat. I do have a lot open now, considering everything else. Let's see. I'm going to close a couple tabs to make it run a little bit easier. Ooh. So scrunching the screen a little bit, moving the chat over, scrolling down. But to talk about OKKO. So in OKKO, there are superheroes, and that's like a really normal thing. It'll kind of remind you of Jank Heroes, to be honest, which is part of the reason why I like it so much. Kirby says, I like the Raditz hair in one of the pictures. Yeah, you'll notice that they take things from other animes, and it's actually really fascinating. The Scavenger said, is this a good show? Yes. Okay, that should have been the first thing I said. OKKO, Let's Be Heroes, is a good show. It's one of the better new shows on Cartoon Network. I'm a big Ben 10 fan, but I have to say that OKKO is better than the Ben 10 reboot. I'm still gonna watch the Ben 10 reboot, and I still enjoy the Ben 10 reboot. I actually have a Ben 10 reboot video that I need to upload that I've already done. It's another one of the gifts. But the show is genuinely great. I really like the characters, and I really like how they've been developing everything over time. And some of the things that you think are like one-offs in the show are things that are just like permanent, right? Like there's an episode where the three main characters, there are a little bit more than three, but I'm going to focus on KO, who is the main character of the show, and he's the boy in most of the pictures. Then we have Enid, who is the girl with the... She's the black girl, actually. It's really interesting because I rarely see African-American main characters in a lot of these Cartoon Network shows. I then... Oh, wait, sorry. And then Rad, and Rad is the blue alien guy. So there are these three guys who work at the plaza together, and they fight against evil robots that come to destroy the plaza, and they're all trying to become greater heroes. Enid a little bit less than everyone else is trying because she's already a little bit higher level than them, but we get to see how she got there, and we get to see how dedicated she used to be. The Scavenger says he's only seen one episode, and that he can't wait for the next Ben 10 reboot season. I agree. If you want to get like information on the next season, make sure to check out Cartoon Network UK on YouTube. They'll post clips from the newer episodes that we haven't gotten yet in America. And that's how I'm able to do videos on Season 2 based content without having seen Season 2 episodes. I try not to do that too much, of course, because without seeing the full episode, you lose a lot of context. But there's an episode where Enid, Rad, and KO are bit by like a werewolf creature, and the way that were animals work in OKKO is that you don't turn into the one that like bit you. Like if you're bit by a werewolf, you don't turn into a wolf per se. You turn into your inner animal, and each character has their own unique inner animal. So KO's is a dog, Enid's is a bunny rabbit, and Rad's is a cat. So they all become beast forms of themselves. And the episode, of course, becomes they get the powers and they all have like new abilities, but then they're like, oh no, you know, we got fleas and stuff because we're animals, and if we get our hair cut off, it doesn't actually go away because we keep just growing more hair because it's more like a curse rather than being an actual animal. But the way that ends is that they get like normal costumes, like costumes that make them look like their normal selves, and they get like a vial of Flea Begone, but they're still animals, and they actually like refer back to that on occasion, that they never stop being were animals. And it's the trippiest shit because they all got like additional powers. Like they kind of got a boost from becoming like were characters, and that boost never goes away because they never stop being were animals. They just don't look like animals anymore, which I thought was just like, it was a huge mindfuck. Because when that episode ended, I was like, so is that supposed to be a one-off adventure kind of thing? But no, they're totally still animals. They just don't look like it, which is really interesting. Because KO gets a new ability from that episode where he has like a bark attack, where he shoots a projectile blast out of his mouth by barking. The Scavenger said, I would be a turtle. What do you think would be your animal if you got bit by a were animal in OKKO? It's an interesting way for them to play with the lore, and everything, for them to like set up their own way for it to work. There are a few different examples where KO temporarily gets a boost and essentially becomes a different character power-wise. On the website that I was watching, the numbering is weird. So, episode 13, from what I was seeing, may not be episode 13 in the airing order, but in that episode, KO consumes a bar that turns him into a giant. And this episode is fucking crazy. So when he eats the bar and turns into a giant, he runs around the world in a matter of seconds. They don't show him go around the planet, but it's like he's off screen for like less than a second, and then he's back on screen, and he's like, okay, I'm back, and he shows a handful of like items that he collected from around the world, from different cultures. And he has like Russian nesting dolls, and there's like a little trinket of the Statue of Liberty, and one of those like Chinese restaurant like cat arms and stuff. But one thing that's interesting about that is that they're supposed to be on Earth, and in the beginning sequence, you actually see the Earth from a distance. So, as a giant, face cam stream again. There we go. Um, he very casually does like this insane speed feat where he runs around the whole planet, not only like moving around the planet, but KO, when he turns into like a were dog, he actually is just more like a puppy dog than like a wolf, which it fits his character. KO is more of like a cuter character rather than like a hardcore fighter, which is when we talk about TKO, where we get into like, aw shit, and he's a really different character. So Kirby said, I like the Raditz hair in one of the pictures. So the images that I show off for the most part in the version of the stream that has pictures are from the episode where we're introduced to TKO. Well, technically this isn't the first time we see TKO. Let's see, X said, we need to talk about apples banging. You got me curious. We need, well, not we need to, but I would like to stay focused on the topic at hand with OKKO. So there's an episode where you're able to increase your fear resistance. Like, that's the whole point of the episode. There's this game that connects to your mind, and essentially you have to face your worst fears, and if you're able to conquer certain levels of the game, it will allow you to have a higher fear resistance than like the average person. Also, thank you all for smashing that like button. I truly appreciate it. So when they went into that virtual world where they fought against their fears, we get to see TKO for the first time, but when we see him, he's made out of like this negative black energy, and he's essentially like the angst and hatred that's inside of KO manifest into a being of its own right. Scavenger said, I just now smashed the like button. Sorry for the belated like. Oh, no problem, Scavenger. Also, thank you all once again for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. So, when we see the shadowy being that is like TKO in that, he's immensely powerful, and he fights off against like a full-fledged hero. That being said, it was like a virtual fear version of that hero. So you could say it doesn't count. You could also say it doesn't count because it's not like a full manifestation of TKO. You know, it was the virtual version of TKO manifesting in the machine. And that's also what KO fears the most. He fears this like angered, hateful version of himself coming out. Like, that's his personal nightmare, but it's also the most powerful form of TKO. I mean, of KO that we've seen is TKO. TKO can one-shot a robot who is powerful enough to destroy the entire plaza with a single attack. The plaza being like the main place where the show takes place. That's where all the stores are, like the store where they work, which is called GARS. That's where his mom's dojo is. And all the other like major locations for the most part of the show are in this plaza. And there are constantly robots being sent in order to try and destroy the plaza. But KO just like one-shots this robot like straight. We don't even really get to see the robot fuck around that hard. Hello, Vegeta. Welcome to the stream. Because KO just annihilates it. And it's interesting because KO gets this sudden power boost, turning into TKO just on a whim. Like, it happens to be during that day, right? Let's see. X said, I think Cuz's mom is going to die if she hasn't already. It would be interesting if KO's mom died, because he is a hardcore mama's boy, so I think that would really change him as a character. But I doubt that that'll happen. I doubt that they'll kill off his mom. And maybe not this early. But I also don't see them making any plans to kill off his mom. Ladies Man FaZe, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. But TKO does a lot. He's very, very powerful. The robot that they fight, based on like what they say, makes it seem like it's probably negative 100. And here's how like power scaling works for OKKO Let's Be Heroes. There are power cards for the individual heroes, and the power cards have a number that's like a base number that can determine a lot about like a character. The number can be broken down to understand like different elements about the character, so it can be different. X said, your thing froze and I couldn't hear you. Please repeat the comment about my comment. Yo, Zolex, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. So let me finish the power scaling thing first, X, and then I can get back to that. So back to the power scaling thing. On there, oh, well, Zolex needs to know what I'm talking about as well. So what we're currently talking about is OKKO Let's Be Heroes, which is a new show on Cartoon Network. The focus of the show is on KO, who is a small boy who's 6 to 11 years old. We don't know where his name is, not where his name is, where his age is in that range, but we just know minimum of 6, height of 11. I don't think they'll tell us how old he is specifically so that he can relate more to the demographic. They want to appeal to 6 to 11-year-olds, so they're not going to say that he is 6 or that he is 11 or some age in between, you know, and his personality fits that, so he could be as young as 6 or as old as 11. We still don't know. His whole thing is that he exists in a world where superheroes are commonplace and aliens and anthropomorphic animals and were creatures just live among everyone in harmony. But there is a robot factory across the street from the plaza where everyone works, and at this robot factory, these robots are created to destroy the plaza one by one. So the way that a KO tries to become a hero, right, is that he works at the plaza and fights to protect it in order to level himself up. And the way that you keep up with your level is that you monitor your POW card. So everyone has a POW card which shows your power level like in the bottom right or left hand corner. And your power level on your POW card essentially tells you how strong you are compared to other people. There are more stats that you can get on the card, but that main stat means a lot, because essentially if your number is higher than your opponent's, then you pretty much are like better than them, but it's milkable, you know what I mean? Like KO, whose level is like 0.1, was able to defeat a level negative 100 robot. Oh, by the way, if you're a villain, all your power level numbers are negative, but if you're a hero, they're all positive. But a negative 100 character is just as powerful as a positive 100 character. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting like ground they have there. So they fought against a robot that was negative 100, which is stronger than like most characters in it. As Alex said, cartoon characters are OP, lol. True. But KO didn't do that without help. He didn't just defeat the negative 100 thing. You know what I mean? And Scavenger said, so their power level is really simple to follow. Exactly. Like, that's the best thing. The numbers seem consistent, and they do seem to add up correctly. The numbers don't seem arbitrary, is what I mean. They seem just as powerful as their numbers suggest, though some of the higher numbers seem to mean less than, like, lower numbers. Like, it's really clear that someone who's level 0 is, like, ass. And it's really clear that someone who's level 3 is better than someone who's level 2. But it gets weird when you get to compare, like, level 8 and level 10 people. It's not like we've seen level 8 and level 10 people fight each other, but I noticed that low-level people have just as much trouble with someone who's level 8 as they are level 10. So it's interesting. Comrade, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. You just entered the Facecam stream. We're currently talking about OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. He says, where are my comrades at? Yo, we are your comrades. Welcome, it's good to have you. So, I was talking about power levels and how they work on the POW cards. So, I am really happy that their power levels are really easy to keep up with. That definitely makes the show simpler to analyze when it comes to how powerful characters are. KO was able to defeat a negative 100 robot, but he wasn't able to do it without help. He actually had a fist that was made up of everyone at the plaza whose combined power level equal to 100. Thank you, comrade, for smashing that subscribe button. I truly appreciate it. So with his level 100 fist, he was able to destroy the robot. Oh, and thank you for smashing that like button. I also truly appreciate that. With his level 100 fist, he was able to destroy the robot, but of course he doesn't always have a level 100 fist, so it's not the same. Also, thank you. I believe that everyone on the stream is cool. You know what I mean? It's not just me. I feel like I'm not as cool as a lot of the people on the stream. You know what I mean? Without you, I wouldn't have an audience in order to share stuff like this. So I truly appreciate everyone who watches. X said, Nick, new lease out, LR Brojack, full power. He said, I mean LR, not lease. I haven't paid too much attention to Dokkan Battle. I know a lot's going on. And I probably do need to get back into it. But to get back on topic for OKKO, Scavenger said, Nick is our Lord and Savior. X said, Nick, don't talk down about yourself. Oh, trust. I never talk down about myself. It's more about, like, how cool you all are. Like, the people watching. It's not me saying that I'm not cool, but it's me saying that you all who watch are cooler. It's more of a relative thing. So, OKKO. Yeah, to get back on topic. So, KO is fuego. Like, his powers are really great when he really lets himself loose. Thank you for smashing that like button. I truly appreciate it. Scavenger said you talk up others instead of talking down. Well, I mean, there's no reason to talk down others, you know what I mean? I feel like everyone's awesome in their own way. Whoop, X said XD, everybody left the other stream. A lot of people enjoy the face cam. I like to do the image streams just because I think a lot of the images from the show are actually pretty cool. I like the art style. It's really nice. Scavenger said lol supreme. Whoop. Oh yeah. So to talk about TKO, Kirby said I have both streams open. Oh, thank you kindly, Kirby. I appreciate it. So TKO is incredibly powerful. Excuse me. Because I believe that TKO is probably level 100, which is ridiculous because he's the same person as KO. KO is level 0.1, but when he allows for like anger and hatred to overcome him and he becomes really angsty and he takes off his headband where he gets that rat's hair, as Kirby calls it. Ooh. TKO one-shotting that I believe level 100 robot I think really matters. The problem is when he beat that robot, the robot just said that he was powerful enough to obliterate the entire plaza in one hit. So the robot claims that he can one-shot the entire plaza, so everyone would be obliterated. And then right after the robot claims that he could one-shot everyone in the plaza, TKO then one-shots that robot. So that's why I think the robot is level 100. Technically, that robot's probably higher than level 100. The reason why I say that is because when KO did the level 100 fist that was made up of everyone in the plaza, that was everyone in the plaza. So everyone in the plaza's levels added together equals 100. So if that's the case, then this robot that can destroy the whole plaza would have to be equal to or greater than the power of the plaza to just eliminate them, like, with the greatest of ease. Kirby said he kind of reminds me of Ryu with the Satsui no Hado. True, he does remind me of like an evil Ryu vibe, for real. If you go on the OKKO Wikia, they compare KO to a lot of different characters because he does seem similar to like Luffy, like Goku kind of character. And I believe his voice actor is Kid Goku, like the English Kid Goku. That might be wrong. Feel free to hit me up with like who his voice actor is and who Kid Goku's voice actor is. Because he sounds really familiar to Kid Goku, but I'm not sure. Let's see, X said, what is the point of a stream other than lively reacting to fans? I do enjoy reacting to what you all say, and your very interesting comments. For example, I dig that Kirby like pulled that comparison to like Ryu. because I feel like a lot of people are going to compare OKKO to other kind of things. Like OKKO isn't anime, but it borrows so many tropes, and they hint at other animes a lot. Like Enid has a Naruto keychain in one episode, and when they flash back to Enid as a kid, Enid has like the Naruto headband style thing because Enid's a ninja. So I like all the nods that they do, and I'm sure that Raditz hair, as you say, is on purpose. X says KO is like Kid Gohan. Oh, with the whole like rage boost thing. I see you. Like that makes sense. Scavenger said level level 1000 coming soon. Level 1000 punch. Naruto is life. If we ever get to level 1000, I think it would be too godlike. It would be too beyond anything else we had seen. Because we've yet to see anything, I think, more powerful than level 100. Because I'm pretty sure TKO is probably 100 plus, but nowhere near 1000 kind of thing. Let's see. X said, "Can I see that girl with the Naruto keychain?" Sadly, I did not get a screenshot of the Naruto keychain thing specifically, and the girl sadly only appears in one of my images, I think. Right now, they're showing, like, on the other stream, we're looking at the power cards, so it's showing the power card for Mr. Gar, because it's like a slideshow, so it's like going in an image at a time. There's Shadowy Figure. That's not just how he looks, that's actually his canon name. Kirby said, "Frickin' Skeleton Onlooker taking pictures. Get the hell out of here." Skeleton Onlooker actually falls to, like, pieces, like straight bones, when he gets hit by an energy wave from TKO. Also, this is the image of the robot getting one-shot, by the way, by TKO. The robot literally is like, "I now have enough power to destroy the whole plaza with one blast." And then in that same, like, as he's saying, "I have enough to, like, destroy everything," he just gets fucking wrecked. But yeah, the Skeleton Onlooker, he ends up getting taken out by TKO's field. Let's see, X said, "I'm not gonna chat, just gonna watch." Well, I mean, you can chat in both streams is the thing. So I actually have the live chat up for the normal video and for the face cam at the same time, and the Discord, so that I can chat in all the things. So KO, with his lightning that he gets when he becomes TKO, can fly. He can shoot his lightning burst from his hands, and his field not only can, like, cause the skeleton to fall apart, like, straight, but it also fells his mom, though I feel like his mom, of course, is holding back because it's her son. It fells Gar, and Gar's, like, level 10, but I believe it fells Gar because Gar's holding back because KO's his friend. It fells Enid, and I think Enid actually just takes the dick because Enid's level 3. Enid's not flexing, she's just actually just falling. And then Rad, who's level 2, got fucking destroyed. Kirby said, "I'll chat here," in both chats. X said, "Nah, like, I'm about to go to sleep." Oh, okay. Have a great night, X. It's good to have you. So, Rad got punched by TKO. And he was hit so hard that Rad flew into orbit around the planet. Rad then crashes from orbit into the ground. And it is later stated that when Rad fell down from orbit, that every bone was broken in his body. X said, "But I'm gonna stay in the stream though." Okay, cool. Thank you for watching. So when Rad crashes into that crater with all his bones broken, Rad is level 2. And KO is normally level 0.1. So TKO is confirmed definitely more powerful than level 2. Kirby said, "Dude, that guy's shirt says, ah!" So the bear guy with the t-shirt, his whole gag is that whatever he's feeling is what's on his shirt. I've yet to see him use a power. The bear. I've just seen his shirt change. Excuse me. And as far as I know, his power is maybe that he's a were animal, Or maybe his power is that his shirt expresses his emotions. Like, I don't know what his character's for. He's interesting and he's good, like, comedic relief kind of thing. But we've yet to really see him fight. Um, TKO is really strong, and I think he's that powerful in large part because his mom is really powerful. Um, KO's mom has the power to absorb any villain's power that she like faces and use that power against them, but I'm not sure if it's permanent or not because I rarely ever see her fight anyone. She's like a dojo instructor, and then when she's like training people in the dojo, that's just it. She's just like doing like normal martial arts. So I've yet to see her fight someone and use their power against them, except in her youth, like when they flash back to her being younger. By the way, that alien that's beat up in the crater, that's Rad after he had been knocked into space and then it crashed back down into the earth. And then after he stood up and tried to fight KO again, TKO is so strong that he can break out of like tractor beam fields, which is like a force field that Rad can like put around you by pointing his finger at you, and Rad can like freely telekinetically like throw you around and shit while you're in the field. Rad tries that bullshit on TKO, and TKO just breaks the field and just escapes casually. It's not even like he has to try hard to break through the field. It's a one punch, the field is broken kind of move, which I thought was pretty impressive. I also thought it was impressive that he was able to break every bone in Rad's body and send Rad into orbit with one punch. That I thought that was also pretty great. Not only could he break out of the tractor beam field, but TKO could grab the tractor beam and use it to just wildly fling Rad around. So he was able to use it against him. When TKO yells, he releases a strong wind that's enough for you to like reach your arm up to brace yourself. It didn't seem like the wind blew people back. Like it's not like you scoot across the ground or anything. But I still think that's like impressive enough because that's just like a sheer force of power kind of thing that you normally don't get to see from him. His energy blasts casually strike through metal because there's one part where TKO does this with his hand and it shoots an energy wave that slices straight through the plaza sign. We've seen in other episodes of OKKO that he has trouble punching through metal with his normal fist, so to give him an energy blast that just says, metal, and just slices through it is a really big boost for him. Just like, to be honest. When he gets really mad and he just starts slamming his fist against the ground, he releases a force field that just gets bigger and bigger, and anyone who's hit by the force field just gets fucked. Like, it just takes you down for the most part, and that's what they're running from in that one picture. Let's see. X says TKO is One Punch Man confirmed. I had to say it. No problem, X, because TKO, the only person who's ever really matched up with TKO for real has been KO. So TKO fights himself. He fights KO in his mind, and I can't really use that as a feat for KO for real because that's like a mental battle. So it's not like KO, who's level 0.1, actually did fight a potentially level 100 threat. You know, it's really different. Kirby says, what is it going to say when the bear guy whose t-shirt says whatever he's thinking, like whenever he fights someone? And Kirby said it'll probably say like fuck you, which I would love to see something like that. That'd be pretty great. The scavenger said Soul Stealer Vegeta voice, a female voice. Let's see, when it comes to OKKO Let's Be Heroes, I think TKO is probably one of the most powerful beings we've seen so far. If we talk about just normal KO, then normal KO could potentially be really good already, and here's my argument for that. So we know that in the plaza, well, specifically in Gar's shop where KO works, there are candy bars where if you eat them, they'll turn you into a giant. And I mentioned that when he was a giant, he has a crazy speed feat where he runs around the world and collects a bunch of items in like a few seconds. How he can casually just crush buildings and shit, like with the greatest of ease when he's a giant. And again, that's within reach because he works in the store where the bars are sold. So he just needs to bite into a candy bar and he becomes a giant. And also, I noticed that when he does bite into that candy bar, all the items that are with him change size along with him. So his clothes become the proper size and his headband. So why don't we equip him with stuff first? In the very first episode of OKKO, KO buys a laser sword, fire gauntlets, a beach towel that he wears as a cape. The beach towel was really dumb. Um, but the fire gauntlets are something that he has, he just doesn't use. The laser sword is something that he has, he just doesn't use, kind of thing. So, if he was to take a bite out of the bar and become a giant, then he would be a giant who can run around the world in a matter of seconds with a massive laser sword and gauntlets that can project fire. And he has, like, this energy fist move that he can do, but he's not very consistent at it, so I rarely ever mention it. It's just really basic. Kirby said, I really hope he goes Super Saiyan. He would go straight to Super Saiyan 3. You're talking about how KO has that super long hair. Normally, KO wears a headband that keeps his hair in check, but TKO says, fuck this headband, because he's going for maximum edge and maximum angst. But I think KO's strongest form that's not TKO, because TKO is an entirely different personality of KO. So KO in his normal personality, his strongest form, would be eating the giant candy bar, like the candy bar that turns you into a giant, while equipped with the laser sword and the flaming fist. And then he can still use his normal abilities. Plus, he still has the bark blast attack, where when he barks, he shoots an energy blast out of his mouth. So with energy blast projected from the mouth, a massive laser sword, and massive gauntlets that allow him to project like fire blasts from his hands, with the ability to travel around the world in a matter of seconds and to casually just break through buildings simply by moving, TKO is a fucking... Well, not TKO. KO is a fucking beast. Now, if you took all that stuff, which we know he's capable of because he's, like, done a lot of these things individually in other episodes, so if you, like, put them together, and you made him go into TKO mode while being a giant, being in TKO mode, while having the energy sword, while having, like, the gauntlets that allow him to shoot fire out of his hands, I think he's a legitimate threat. Like, being able to travel around the world in a second is a huge speed feat, especially for, like, a giant. He can casually smash through buildings. He has a laser sword that he can use to try and cut through opponents. He can blast fire out of his hands. With all his TKO abilities, he now can shoot, like, purple lightning from his hands. He can fly while he's TKO. He uses the lightning as, like, assisted flight. All of this, like, stacked together, I think is why KO deserves, like, respect. You know, TKO, without being a giant, and without having the laser sword, and without having the fire gauntlets, is able to one-shot a robot that can destroy the whole plaza. Let alone, you know, TKO with all of these things I'm describing. So I definitely want to do some videos that are like, who do you think would win in a fight? KO versus, like, blank. Because KO is definitely insanely powerful for who he is. X said, Nick, you watched 31 episodes today. He said, I watched 3 in a matter of months. I got really into it. I was very surprised that I liked it as much as I did. I remember the pilot for OKKO, because occasionally I like to see what Cartoon Network's working on before it, like, comes around. So I'll look up pilots for shows and be like, well, I wonder if this will ever catch on, and, like, if Cartoon Network will actually, like, show it. And this is one of the ones where, like, hey, OKKO actually became a show. And it's a really good show. I'm upset because I learned that there are actually more episodes out than what I was able to like get off of the website where I'm watching it on stream. There we go. Facecam stream is back. Let's see. X said, do Beyblade metal fights like Pegasus versus blank. I would need to get more into Beyblade. How about them Packers? Ooh, I don't keep up with sports necessarily. But if you ask me about cartoons, that's been my thing recently. X at lol XD. I watched I rewatched Beyblade metal fights in one day. He said all of it. Oh, nice. Then you did a similar thing to this whole KO binge watch thing I did. But like I said, I've been really into it. Expect more KO videos in the future. What do you all think about KO? Do you think that he is super powerful? Do you think he's trash tier? Do you think he's not as strong as he may seem? Make sure you post that all in the comment section below. Well, I would love to continue this discussion. I have to get ready for bed. I have class tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. or so. But thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that bell so be notified whenever we do these live streams. Thank you all once again, and have a great day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. And don't worry, I'll do one more video tonight. There's a New Mutants trailer out, so I'll do a reaction video to New Mutants, but that'll be like a pre-recorded thing that I'll then upload. So, see you all soon. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, and thank you again. I appreciate everyone who watches.